Somebody asked, what is failure? I think failure is your teacher. I think failure is your indication that honestly you're doing everything that you can to move forward. I think failure is something that we have to look at with a slight look of optimism. Like literally failure is something that you need on your route. Success isn't the first thing that you see. Like you're literally going to get a little bit better incrementally each and every day in order for you to become the best version of yourself. I used to think of failure as a pit stop. I used to think of failure as something that would define who I was. I used to think of failure as not a part of the process, but a destination. And I think for many people, once they run into failure, they quit and they stop. Once they don't get the result that they were supposed to get, every fiber of their being literally dies and says, I guess I'm not supposed to go after this goal, this dream, or everything that's supposed to be happening for me. And I think one thing that if I could push one message forward is that if you are dealing with failure, if you have failed, if you're failing right now, continue on your journey. Redefine what failure means to you. Just redefine it. That's our mindset. That's our perspective. Can you redefine the things that are happening for you right now? I remember starting out as a speaker and remember when we walked into a room and we thought 100 people were going to be there. Remember how excited I was. I remember how excited I was about the opportunity. I came into the room. I had a suit on. I was ready. Walked into the room. There were 100 chairs out and 8 people showed up. That moment was huge for my process. It was huge for my growth because I almost wanted to shed a tear in that moment because my dream had been shattered in that moment. My assumption was everything that I thought when I held to a vision was supposed to happen immediately. And because I was so wrapped up with the product, I didn't understand that I was in my process. And the crazy part about that experience was everything that happened in that moment, as we had to shift to understanding how to do a workshop material with 8 people, was that moment was teaching me how to deal with adversity when it comes. This is just my personal experience. When I expected 100 people and 8 people showed, it was almost as if life was saying, do you really want what you said that you want? It was almost as if life was saying, are you doing it for the claps? Or are you doing it because you're expressing everything that's truly genuine about you? And I had to go back and redefine my purpose for my journey. I had to rediscover my calling and ask Isaac in the mirror, are you doing this for the right reasons? Because I'm truly aware of the idea, the powerful idea that if you're doing something and you don't care what the result will be, but you're doing it because it's pouring out everything that's naturally inside of you, you're on the right path. That's when you know you're operating in your purpose. I say this humbly, but I say this with truth. It's only when you do it and you don't care about the product. You fall in love and you're married to the process. That's the only way that you understand that failure is a part of your journey. That's the only thing that you can do. You have to understand that everything that happens to you happens for a reason. It's giving you a resource. It's teaching you a lesson. It's allowing you to understand how you look at the world when the world knocks you to your knees. Like it has to give you an opportunity to say, what am I going to do now? What am I going to do? Like, how do I shift now? Life punched me in the, like, what do I do at this moment? Failure is your teacher. Failure is the lesson. Failure is a part of the process. And for many young people, I want to direct this to young people because you might be in the middle of failing right now. Like the bad grade, the bad relationship, something's not going right. You went for a dream and it didn't happen. You shot your shot. You did everything that you were supposed to, but you were rejected. And I'm trying to tell you that failure is a part of your growth. But it's only when you see the failure as an opportunity to take in a lesson. It's only when you see the failure as an opportunity to take in the lesson that you understand that you're on the right path. Understand that failure is a part of your process. When we walked into that room and there were 8 people and we finished, I knew that day that something great would come from it. So the first time I walked into a room and saw 1,000 people in the crowd, I remember the day when there were 8 people in the crowd. And it not only keeps you humble, but it keeps you grounded. And it's almost as if you're having a conversation with life, and it's asking you, do you really want what you say you want? That's what life does. It gives you the vision, and then it puts you in a situation, it knocks you down with some failures, and then it says, do you really want what you say you want? And it's up to us to understand that we have everything within us to go forward in the right way. It's up to us. It's up to us to understand that failure will be a part of the process, but if you can trust yourself intuitively, you know that you can take that next step in faith and not in fear. It's literally up to us to have the power to know that there is something inside of you that will allow you to go forward if you have that belief. Failure is a part of the process. There's no other way to put it. Keep going. If you're failing right now, keep going. That's the message. If you're experiencing failure and you don't know what to do next, figure out the next step. Don't look at the whole staircase. Figure out the next step and do that with every fiber of your being. Because I promise you, once you operate in that way, you'll get help. I promise you. I'm only speaking from experience. That's how it goes. Move in faith, don't move in fear. Understand that failure is a part of the process and watch what happens. 2020 has taught us all that.